Welcome in, Wednesday edition, Oxford Exxon Podcast. Chase Parham, Neal, McCready, Clark Ford studio here with you this morning. With baseball, they come from behind win over at Little Rock yesterday, 12-10 in the Kids Day game. Call it what you want, but pretty good effort there to come back on a sleepy morning with nothing but kids in the stands. And a game you easily could have lost. Instead, they hit a lot of home runs. They came back from a 7-2 deficit, and they pull that one out. Ole Miss picks up a commitment from Liberty cornerback Dejon Anthony yesterday out of the portal. Some interesting things to say. We're going to talk about that today on the show. Some pro sports stuff, as well as what the Big 12 is doing in ways that is interesting. I don't think necessarily is going to work. I don't think it means a ton, but I do find it fascinating. At least they're not sitting there and just doing nothing as they're standing in the sports world, definitely falling into the third conference at best here as things move forward in NCAA sports. So all that and more coming up on the show. A show brought to you every day by the Oxford Exxon, Highway 6 West in Oxford. You know about the ribs. Let them take care of dinner tonight, wet or dry. They'll wrap them up. They'll have them ready to go for you with Blue Sky and the Oxford Exxon. Also, the lunch specials, they change every single day, but every day, $5.69, 2 sides bread, any size fountain drink for you here locally in Oxford. Remember, if you're in the Jackson metro area, if you're in Clinton, the Clinton Blue Sky location, homemade donuts every morning. So go try those out. Try the different flavors. They have a lot of options there for you. Those are coming to all Blue Skies statewide, up and down I-55 in North Mississippi as well. But for now, in Clinton, so donuts there. And again, coming to you from the Clark Ford studio.
We are Clark Ford's in Amory, Mississippi. 662-257-1900 is the number. Call it. Ask for Corey Clark. Tell Corey what Ford product you're looking for. He'll send you a quote within 15 minutes in business hours. It's right to the bottom line. There's no hassle. There's no haggle. You get your quote, and the rest is up to you. You can shop it around. You can do what I've done, what I recommend that you do, and that's hop into a Clark Ford today, 662-257-1900. Gabe DeArmond was going to join us today, but he's got jury duty. But guess we'll join on the myperfectfranchise.net hotline. If you're a displaced corporate executive, you want to put your career in your own hands, or you're an experienced entrepreneur simply looking to diversify, Andy Ludicky can help. He owns multiple franchises and businesses and uses his expertise to help others find their American dream through a very thorough and free consultation process. So call Andy. Put your life and your career in your own hands. It's 100% free. So what do you have to lose? Find your perfect franchise at myperfectfranchise.net. Or contact Andy anytime at andy@myperfectfranchise.net or 404-973-9901.
You're about due for another jury duty, aren't you? You got, I mean,
Surely
I think you're supposed to do like one every 5 years or something, but it seems like you get to bypass that rule.
I hope to get out of it next time. I don't know what the deal is. I get it all the time. They must hunt me.
Because you're so reasonable, and I mean, really just picking out the people in society that. Well, you do show up, though. I will give you this: you don't have an issue with serving. They probably should put a little asterisk next to you because you don't find ways out unless it's pretty critical.
I'm a pretty pragmatic person.
Yeah,
I mean, more so than most people, and I show up. I'm a rule follower. I mean,
other than the bailiff getting on to you about Andy Kennedy, you've been good the whole time.
I do my civic duty. I pay my taxes. I do my contribution. I mean, seriously, I have people tell me I'm this and I'm that, and I think to myself, I'm a pretty normal guy, I think. I just sort of stay to myself.
And maybe you haven't had it more than I realize. It's that every time you do, it seems to be like some sort of murder case. Like you don't get on for the really light thing. It seems like most of the time, it's something fairly significant when you you do get called in. There's no A ball.
I was the jury foreman on a capital murder case.
I mean,
that's pretty.
You could write a few book chapters on that one.
And then they threw it out because one of the jurors knew somebody or something. I don't know.
Sounds like a waste of freaking time for everybody, doesn't it?
It was a waste of time.
Yeah. Is that a 4th of July hat or what is that?
Yeah.
You're wearing a Cubs cap
from years ago.
I kind of like it. That's sort of like a heather material. Like it looks like a heather material, sort of.
Yeah, I think so. Kind of soft.
Is it?
Uh-huh.
They don't wear it anymore, ever?
They wore this one on 4th of July. I can't remember. I kind of liked it, so I ordered it.
It worked then.
Yeah.
What they were doing paid off.
It's probably controversial now. It's a little patriotic to put that on these days.
Bandy baseball still does it all the time. It's fine.
Yeah. I respect them for it. Kind of flaunting.
I'm only upset that they got rid of the...
Because you wonder with Corbin... Like, Tim Corbin seems like a patriotic guy.
He does seem like a patriotic guy.
But, like, Vanderbilt University, I would guess that as a rule, they've kind of skewed away from patriotism. It's a little controversial.
But he still wears the military green most Sundays and the whole deal. And
I'm sneaky high on Vanderbilt baseball. I'm a Corbin guy. I suspect if Tim Corbin and I sat in a room together, we would like each other. I have a strong suspicion.
He does seem to get frustrated by Vanderbilt pretty often. But he's successful enough, they leave him alone.
Well, and he throws it in their face a little bit.
I
have a strong suspicion that Tim Corbin and I are aligned in a lot of ways. Okay. I have no issues with Tim Corbin. I know a lot of people want to hate Corbin and Vanderbilt baseball, and he hasn't done anything but take advantage of loopholes and rules
that anyone would do if they were given that opportunity.
If they had any sense.
Well, that's true. Not all do.
If you have
not all do.
If you have tax loopholes and you don't take advantage of them, that's on you. I mean, I want my accountant to find every loophole possible because I want to keep as much of my money as humanly possible.
Yeah. If you'd like to close the loophole, then okay. But as long as it's open, it's there. Yeah, I just hate they got rid of I hate they got rid of the blue. I always like when they wore the navy patriotic uniforms. I know that was not one of their colors, but I was one of the few that actually really liked those suits. And
I like those.
They went to the military green.
I kind of like the green.
Do you?
Mm-hmm.
You know, America's team and all. I mean, it's
again, I have no issues with them. I
haven't seen them as much because I know the Whistler is annoying.
He is. He's horrible.
Yeah, I don't see how their own people are not fed up with it. It actually makes me question Vanderbilt as an institution even more because they allow that to take over the program. Like, can Corbin really like the Whistler?
No way.
But yet,
I know.
They do nothing to halt it, however.
I'd have
because you could come on.
Oh, I think you could walk in and tell him to leave.
Yeah. You're disrupting everyone else there for a gimmick. Although, look, there's a lot of Vandy fans that get all into it and support him and protect him. And
I mean, maybe he gives a lot. I don't know.
And I know there's two, but there's one that seems a little worse.
Yeah.
I mean, there's that. So I don't know. I'm not necessarily getting off on Vanderbilt baseball right now, but it's true.
They've had a good year.
I guess where I was going with that was they don't seem to be quite the jerks as years past, just watching them. I think Tennessee has almost become so hated and so whatever right there that we almost kind of forget Vanderbilt a little bit from that standpoint. Because 5 years ago, I mean, it was like, even the little things like the calisthenics was pissing people off.
Yeah, the game has changed a little since then. So I don't know. I've watched them. I've watched them probably 10 times. They're a good team. They kind of, sign me up whenever Bradfield plays. I watch.
I'm not calling them plucky because they're still one of the most talented teams in the league.
They're super talented, especially on the mound. They really pitch it.
It's where what he's done that's so impressive is in other programs have done it, but maybe not. Well, A, they haven't had the level of talent over the years that he has. Two, as quickly as he recognized this was an end for him, was how much they support their former players, giving them their own locker room back. And Ole Miss has come a long way in that, but like Vanderbilt was on the front edge of, hey, no, these are our guys. Get them back in Nashville in the offseason, mingle them with our team. We do everything in the world to support and monitor those relationships once those guys are finished. So when you get Sonny Gray and David Price and all these dudes back in Walker Buehler back in your park all off season, that's a big deal.
Yeah, of course.
Like opening day every year, Ole Miss sends these care packages to all of its former players that are in the pros and has all the Ole Miss Major League stuff and whatever. It's those little stuff that do, because those kids come back and they see recruits, they see players. There is a direct, tangible impact to that over time.
Of course.
There's no doubt about that.
Sure.
So
they've put a bunch of guys in the bigs. It's like Alabama football.
Mm-hmm.
That's a huge part of their recruiting picture. You don't think Georgia's pointing out to recruits how many guys got drafted off the last two teams, do you?
And I know there's like the underrated, overrated argument, but he's got 2 firsts and 2 seconds. It's hard to really call him overrated when you have 2 firsts and 2 seconds.
Who are we talking about?
Corbin. Because of their level of advantage.
Yeah.
But that's strong. And I saw since 14. He's 2 firsts, 2 seconds since 14.
Yeah.
So anyway, I don't know. I'm on that. But anyway, so yesterday, Liberty cornerback Dejon Anthony committing to Ole Miss out of the portal. 6', 205-pound junior from Richmond, Virginia. Played a couple seasons at Liberty. 41 tackles, 3 interceptions combined in his 2 seasons with the Flames. Started out at some small school in West Virginia following the 2019 season. He has 1 year left, just one.
Mm-hmm.
He flew to Oxford over the weekend, spent 48 hours in Oxford. He commits to the Rebels out of the portal. You called him yesterday. Take me through this a little bit because I want to talk about what was certainly the most interesting part of the conversation. And let me remind everybody again, 41 career tackles, 3 career interceptions in 2 seasons at Liberty.
So I reached out to him via Instagram because I'm cool and hip like that.
Instagram?
Yeah, okay. Instagram messaging. I'm not a big Instagrammer, but I use it some. And so I sent him a message on Instagram, and he responded immediately. He was at the airport. He says, I got about 20. And I said, I don't need 20. I need about 5. And he sent me his number. I called. He answered.
That's really old school right there.
Old school.
I mean.
Never happens. I couldn't believe it. I mean, I looked at it. I was like, you have an Instagram message? And I was like, some bitch. And so I called. He answered. And I don't remember the exact conversation, but it was just, we got, hey, I heard you committed. Yeah, I committed. Why Ole Miss? And he gives me a couple answers. And, I said, so you got in the portal on Friday? And he said, yeah. And I said, so did it just blow up? And he goes, it was crazy. And I said, okay, well, tell me about it. And so he tells me about immediately multiple schools call. Most of them are trying to get him to come visit. He had more than 20, hey, come visit offers. Mm-hmm. Had a handful of offers. And he said that he made his decision at that point that he wasn't going to publicize his offers. He said because he observed that guys who publicized an offer suddenly got more offers. And some of those offers were for, hey, I'll use Big Ten for simplicity's sake. Illinois offered, so suddenly Indiana, Purdue, and Northwestern offer. And they don't even know who the hell you are. They just offer. And I don't know that that's exactly that way, but he made it make sense. And so he said, I wanted to make sure that the people who offered me were offering me because they wanted me and because they have a place for me. He's like, I got 1 year. I can't make a mistake here. I can't go someplace and find out that there was somebody ahead of me on a depth chart and I can't play. And he goes, that's a mistake. I said, so this is a business decision? He goes, absolutely. It's a business decision. And so I said, speaking of, how much did, NIL and stuff come up? And he said, well, he goes, at first he says, I really don't want to get into it. He goes, but it comes up right away. And I said, so it's one of the first things people mention. And he was like, well, yeah, I mean, everybody kind of makes you an offer. And then he volunteered it. He goes, the offers, the lowest one was $50,000. The highest one was $150,000. And he kind of volunteered that Ole Miss wasn't the highest, but that Ole Miss ultimately made the most sense. And then what I thought was interesting, and I was careful kind of with how I wrote it, but I don't know why he volunteered it, is that he was told that there would be opportunity for more, if he played well and if things went well, which I think is confirmation of the obvious part of it's why I wish as a journalistic group, who am I kidding? I wish, stop. Just so many fanboys, my God. It's not NIL, it's salary. So you're offered a base salary plus incentives, like a coach's contract. A coach gets X dollars, and hey, if you win the SEC West, we'll pay you this much dollars. And if you win the SEC, we'll pay you this much dollars. And if you win the conference tournament, we'll pay you this much dollars. And if you win the national championship, we'll pay you this much dollars. And we'll give you money for your APR. And so it's incentivized.
But what's funny about that, is look, the base here is an inducement in pay for play, as we've said. I mean, come on, this is obvious. Cool, whatever. I mean, no harm, but that's what it is. The incentives make a ton of sense. Sort of save all of the collectives. This isn't just Ole Miss doing this. And that is a little more almost kind of NIL-ish because, look, your profile is going to raise when you play well.
Sure.
Hence, you get more money for production and for the raised profile. I mean, Quinshon Judkins, I'm sure, got a, quote, raise this year because he played much better than he did last year.
A significant.
Well, I'm staying away from numbers, but yes, like,
I mean, hundreds of thousands
yeah.
of raises.
Exactly.
Which is fine.
Yeah, cool. Whatever.
What was interesting to me, and I'm not criticizing subscribers because I found the thread to be interesting. The number of people who were like, he's not getting that much. And it told me that there's a lot of people out there that are either in denial or they don't want to believe this.
And I get it. That's kind of my point on putting statistics out there. Look, if somebody's willing to pay it, then that's what you're worth.
Mm-hmm.
But in our brains, is it ridiculous? Yes, of course.
I don't even know that I'd use the word ridiculous. I think the word
it's not sustainable.
That's the word.
You can't you can't put an entire roster like this year over year over year over year.
I don't think so. Maybe you can. But like, let's Ole Miss this.
Yeah.
You're Walker Jones, you're Denson Hollis, you're anybody over there who's asking people for money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Whoever those people are. You're going to the same people. Because at some point you have a finite list of, I mean, there is a finite, Walker's probably not calling up the folks who cheer for Iowa and going, hey, do you want to give to Ole Miss Athletics?
Yeah.
We're trying to buy
There is a master list of people willing to donate to any Ole Miss effort, whatever that looks like.
Yeah, it is finite to some degree.
Sure.
Is that fair?
Any school is finite.
Sure,
It just depends on the length of the list.
Of course. That's my point. So you keep going to the same people, and at some point, I'm guessing, they say, hey, I'm tapped out. Or I can't do all of these things. I can't give to this, and this. I've got maybe their business took a turn. I mean, if you listen to Breaking Points, there's some concern about the debt ceiling and the banks crashing and stuff. I mean, there's stuff going on, Chase, in the real world that impacts this. And so, yeah, I mean, can you put rosters together can you continue year over year to just go out into what is essentially the free agent market and just buy free agents? We keep doing the pro sports thing. If you listen to most professional organizations, pro sports organizations, they'll tell you that building the roster through free agency is a mistake, that it's not sustainable, that the misses hurt worse. You draft a guy in the 4th round that he doesn't pan out. Okay. You lost a draft pick. You sign a free agent safety and he ends up being on the backside of his career more than you thought he was, and you paid him $30 million and he can't play.
That's on you.
That's a hit, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's a difference. I mean, your 1st round draft choice, if you miss, it really hurts. But you miss on a 5th round, good, it's okay. I mean, free agency, if you're just doing, and Ole Miss is becoming a program that's pretty dependent on free agency. They'll kind of admit it out loud privately. I don't know where all this goes. I mean, good for the kid that he gets the money. It's good for him.
Well, because, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, it's because, again, I'm not arguing with anybody. I understand why you're skeptical. I'm just telling you, yes, he's getting that type of money. I mean, they all are, because
those are the numbers we're hearing consistently.
I mean, it's off record, so I can't say it right here, but some of you guys would need some heart medicine to hear what some returning basketball players are getting.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like, it just is the price of the game right now. Because what's the deal is, we can all talk about so-and-so and so-and-so, and this isn't sustainable, and schools have got to get together, and they got to fix it. As long as one school is willing to pay that number, that is the number.
Yeah.
So some schools might go, hey, we're just going to see who we can get on the back end and try to put this thing together and all this kind of deal. Or some schools go, hey, we're going to sell out for 1 or 2 kids, and we're going to pay them crazy numbers, and that's going to be the dudes we build everything else around. But either way, dudes are getting their coin.
Yeah.
And no, it does not just take 2 or 3 people, Chet, to take care of hoops. Hoops is asking for a large number.
Yeah, the basketball market, as a matter of fact, has
gotten really expensive.
Over the past year has really changed. What coaches thought a year ago would be enough for their roster right now is not enough.
Because, I mean, if you ask me to guess for baseball, if you really tried to be portal depending on what they all need, $3 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's a guess.
Yeah.
But I think that's the answer. And Hoops needs more than that. So do the math.
Yeah, I think Hoops thought, this is not talking about Ole Miss, just in general.
Yeah.
I think
the sport,
outside of the handful of blue bloods, I think the belief was, hey, $2 million, you can field a roster. I don't know that that's the case anymore. I don't know that you can field truly a competitive roster for $2 million.
In hoops.
Yeah.
Competitive meaning tournament team with a chance to win a game or two.
Yeah, tournament team with a chance to get to the second weekend.
Well, correct, yeah. I mean, no, because I'm doing math in my head.
I mean, I think it's more 3.5.
Because, again, it's not even, you say, okay, well, yeah, you could give $100,000 to 60 players, and that's only $6 million. Well, sure, but you've got 5 players who are really good that are getting between 500 and $1 million. So that's not the number anymore. Like, not everybody gets 100,000. I mean,
well, look, when a defensive back from Rhode Island that nobody had heard of until the other day is basically just being overwhelmed with offers, it's fascinating. So it tells you that the market's nowhere near saturation. Is that the word I'm looking for?
Yeah, sure. Well, because here's the question. And we got to report on the stream. I'm going to bring it up here. We'll go to break first. Tell you that Kemp Alderman making a public appearance at Style Assembly on the Square in Oxford on Mother's Day, May 14th from 1 to 3. Stop by to hang out with Kemp, get autographs, take pictures, ask questions in a personal one-on-one setting. It's all free. There'll also be a limited number of posters available for him to sign if you do not want to bring your own merchandise. Speaking of Mother's Day, it's just around the corner. Let the ladies at Style Assembly help you find mom the perfect gift, whether it be clothing, jewelry, shoes, purses, sunglasses, or a gift card. They simplify the process with wish lists. Just have mom fill out a list at the store or over the phone, and the team will keep it on file. So all you have to do is stop by, choose something off the list. You get the exact gift she wants down to the correct colors and sizes. They'll gift wrap it for free. It is great for Mother's Day, and they ship straight to your door if you not live in Oxford. So stop by the store on the Square, 203 North Lamar, next to Blind Pig. Give them a call at 662-638-3163 or DM at Shop Style Assembly on social media to place an order.
Walk On Sports Bistro puts everything they've got into bringing you game day with a taste of Louisiana. Dig into their mouth-watering, made-from-scratch Louisiana cuisine, po' boys, gumbo, voodoo shrimp, plus fan favorites like juicy burgers, fresh salads, all in front of 70-plus TVs, 40-plus ice-cold beers on tap. You can also order online at walkons.com or on the convenient Walk-Ons app. Check them out, especially in Oxford or Ridgeland today. The College Corner is your one-stop Rebel Shop. 2 locations in the Jackson area in Ridgeland. It's next to Fleet Feet in Flowood. It's next to Half Shell. If you don't live in Jackson, it's okay. Go to collegecornerstore.com. Plus, you can find them on Facebook and Instagram, the largest selection of Rebel gear in central Mississippi. The warm weather is coming. At least that's what they promise. And when it does, you want to make sure that AC is ready to roll. Get in touch with Comer Heating and Air, Southern Air Conditioning and Heating. Different names, same great people, same great products and services. If you live in Oxford, Batesville, Tupelo, or the surrounding area, call Comer. 662-801-1777. If you live in Hernando, Memphis, or the surrounding area, call Southern 662-429-4429. A-Stock is a Nashville-based online retail company with the mission to provide customers the power to name their price. All items start at just $1. That's right. Every item starts at just $1, no matter what the retail value may be. So shop now at astock.bid. That's ASTOCK.BID. Or download their app. Name your price on thousands of items from big-name retailers. A-Stock has multiple locations around Nashville as well as Memphis, Selma, Indiana, and more coming soon that offer local pickups, so don't miss out. And we're brought to you by Solutions RX. It's a probiotic multivitamin supplement company created by Ole Miss Pharmacy alum Chris Cornelison. It's pharmaceutical grade, manufactured right here inside the U.S. under the highest standards, based out of Iuka, Mississippi. They've got prescription support. They also have all sorts of supplements, vitamins, things to help you stay healthier over the long term. It's available in local independent pharmacies across the continental U.S., including all across Mississippi, or on their website, solutionsrx.com. Type in the promo code OEP at checkout. Get 10% off your first order. And it's graduation season. Dead Soxy has your favorite grads' feet covered. Every journey begins with the first step. So make it count and gift your grad premium Dead Soxy socks. Take advantage of 30% off savings or gift a sock subscription that will keep them fresh as they step into their new adventure in style. So visit deadsoxy.com. Use the promo code REBELGROVE for 30% off savings at checkout to style up your favorite new grad. Congratulations to the class of 2023 from Dead Soxy. And as always, stay Soxy.
Spring is here, and it's time to refresh your outdoor spaces. Heavenly Sunshine Property Services, your go-to for professional power washing. From your home's exterior and sidewalks to your deck and patio, the team has experience and equipment to get the job done right. Their advanced power washing techniques and attention to detail, they remove dirt, grime, and mildew to reveal a fresh and clean surface. Heavenly Sunshine Property Services has been serving the Mid-South for over 4 decades. Full-service commercial and residential property maintenance includes power washing, soft wash, roof applications, facade cleaning, and window cleaning. So contact them today to get ready for a brighter, cleaner outdoor living space. Visit their website, heavenlysunshine.com, or give Sandy a call at 662-342-1203 to book your free estimate today. Use the code MPW10 for a 10% discount. I mean, it's a couple things here. One, every school needs essentially a capologist because every school to some level has a salary cap at this point. They know how much money they have. And again, they go for multiple sports. It's at least 2 sports at every school for the most part. It's 3 at some schools. It's 4 at some schools because of women's basketball. So, I mean, I was talking, I guess it was Neal and I talking yesterday, and it's not even necessarily that it's every football program is built like a pro team where you have this much money. You're all pulling from the same till across multiple sports. I mean, the example would be that, like, Stan Kroenke, who owns the Rams, he also owns the Avalanche and the Nuggets. He's using one salary pool for all 3 sports. I mean, it makes no logical sense, and it's impossible to do in any kind of real business way. And because the question is, at some point, does it come off where the universities are in charge of funding this? They don't have the money for that. I know everybody doesn't believe that, but they don't, or at least not in the way it's currently structured.
They would have to really clean some fat from their, and even then,
you would be cutting sports like crazy. And frankly, the NCAA doesn't allow that.
Title IX doesn't allow that.
Well, yeah, but both.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to have a required number of sports to compete in the NCAA.
Yeah. No, I mean, there's not going to be some mass cutting of women's and men's golf, for example.
To make sure that the universities pay NIL.
No.
But there's not a line item that's possible for the university to pay $10 million to athletes.
No. I mean, I know what people are saying. Well, then don't pay the coaches and blah, blah, blah.
No. Okay. But
okay.
Then change the game. I mean, that's really changing the game then.
Yeah.
And how you capping that? Because some schools are. I mean, you're not going to stop. I mean, that's the deal. Not everybody's operating on the same page here.
No. And everyone keeps, inside the profession, they're all saying they need regulation on this. And Congress is like, I'm not touching this. Congress has clearly shown over the last several years they have no interest in this. And the NCAA is not going to come down with a bunch of rules. I mean, I'm literally stunned that the NCAA has sort of drawn a quasi-hard line at the no multiple transfers.
I just thought they had to, the way they phrased that rule. When they came out so hard with it, I went, okay, if you guys don't do this, because you made it very black and white.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm just saying,
like,
I'm surprised they have an appetite for it.
Yeah. Because it's the one place they have drawn a line.
So far.
Oh, right.
It'll get tested, and we'll find out whether it's a hard line or not. I don't know. Beats me.
Probably needs to be.
What needs to be?
Yeah.
I'm not confident it will be. My guess is it will be sort of a flexible line at first.
But when we're in this environment where it's player first on everything, you can't cap them, and you can't do this, and you can't do that. I mean, look, they're being...
Hypothetically, how would you even cap it?
I don't know.
How would you even enforce that? Who enforces that?
Well, because then you're just going back to the black market of recruiting,
of course,
again, which is still there, by the way.
Right.
That's the other part of this. It hasn't gone away.
No.
Schools are still doing the under-the-table stuff for a couple different reasons. A, there's a lot of donors at places who don't want to be involved with public NIL. They'd rather just give under the table and let it be what it used to be and be able to have plausible deniability of that versus coming out where there are papers being signed that you're contributing in some way.
Well, and they're still having to pay kids to come on visits. That's under the table payment.
Because look, from a PR standpoint, that's one of the reasons why the collectives are successful to some extent, is that donors can go, hey, I'm just contributing to the collective and the good of the university and the athletic department and to the players, versus a donor picking out a player per se and signing the agreement with the quarterback or the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, there's a huge difference there. They can kind of do this general donation that is more palatable to a lot of donors and boosters than simply picking out players and going from there.
Yeah.
No, coaches cannot be part of the collective. I'm fairly certain.
No.
That would tie into being funded by the university, which is not allowed. I don't know if it means any university employee can't donate. I don't know where exactly the rules fall, but
I'm going to guess most university employees don't want to donate.
but you could manipulate the system that way,
Sure.
and I don't know.
Sure.
You don't think the sociology department's giving a lot to NIL?
I'm guessing not.
I don't hate that grind where you give kids a portion of the bowl money. I don't hate that.
No.
Now, here's the catch to that. There's not a lot of bowl money left
Yeah.
once you pay for everything.
Yeah, those aren't huge money makers.
No, schools lose money on bowl
Yeah,
games.
you got to travel and stay at a hotel.
Because bowl money from what you make off your bowl is completely different than the SEC payout for bowls. Those are not
Yes.
the same things.
Right. And when people say, well, take all the TV money and give it to the players. Well, the TV money is paying for all these other sports that are money drains.
I mean, look, and Georgia makes a good point here. Ole Miss has limited funds compared to some other schools, sure, even though Ole Miss has really funded well given what they can do. And yet, it matters what positions you're funding. I mean, they need defensive players right now, which means funding defensive players. I mean, from a straight just capologist standpoint, you don't need 3 quarterbacks on big NIL deals. It's a waste of money.
Yeah.
I mean, it is.
It is.
I mean, there's a scenario where it wouldn't be, but right now it is.
I mean, if nobody leaves and they go into the season, either Jackson Dart or Spencer Sanders is going to be some form of a backup making a lot of NIL money that would buy
several Liberty cornerbacks.
4 or 5 cornerbacks.
There should be a public database for NIL deals.
Of course. I've been saying this forever.
That's the one thing above all else.
It needs to be transparent.
Yes. Pay it, whatever. Feel free, but you got to show me.
Yeah, that's where I come in on. Like,
you got to show me. Okay.
Everybody wants regulation. Well, then part of the like pro sports, I push back on it all the time. I get what Lane's saying.
No, I get it. Yes,
I 100% understand.
Except it's dumber than pro sports in every way.
In every possible way.
Yeah.
In pro sports, you know what everyone makes. Like right now, the Cubs fans are clamoring for Matt Mervis to get called up. And every time Trey Mancini does something bad, which is frequent, or every time that Eric Hosmer pops up to the second baseman with the bases loaded, which is just about every time he comes up, people point out how much money they make. Because it's public record. Everyone knows. Right now, college athletics is trying to kind of have its cake and eat it too. Be pro sports, but secretly.
It's again back to the player thing. The players don't have to be transparent in any way.
Right.
I mean, it's where I'm not against the players, quote unquote.
No, of course not.
But I am kind of sick of just, oh God, we can't upset the players. Like, why?
Why?
Real life here. Put it out there.
I mean, I think people ought to know somebody's making $400,000.
Exactly. They should. That's the truth. Look, if you're good enough to make $400,000 and somebody's willing to pay you $400,000, then you should be man enough and old enough and mature enough to stand up and say, I'm making $400,000 and everybody can see what you're doing for that money.
Sure.
Period.
Sure.
It's a no-brainer.
It needs to
Instead of, oh, no, I can't talk about it. While you're getting $500,000. Oh, give me a break.
Yeah, he's sulking and won't practice and won't do this and won't do that, and he's making $500,000. Needs to be part of the deal, right?
Collectives pay a guy $200,000, or whatever Judkins got coming in, and then he has an SEC record year. Hey, nice job, collective.
Awesome. I mean, if Deshaun Watson sucks,
I'm
not saying he will, but let's say Deshaun Watson is a complete and total disaster in Cleveland. In every article, it's going to be they paid him $239 million.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be part of the conversation every single time. Jalen Hurts is now judged differently in Philadelphia than he was on a rookie scale deal. I'm not saying he didn't deserve the money. Good for Jalen. Awesome. Congratulations. Good for you. But if Jalen Hurts has a bad season somehow, some way, the fact that they gave him 200 and whatever, including $190 million, is absolutely part of the story. If, God forbid, Quinshon Judkins got hurt in week 1, you'd be like, boy, a lot of NIL money just went down. a lot of the salary in the cap just went down.
Because look, it's not even necessarily about the player; it's about the donor. Fans should know what they're paying for. A transparency to where is my money going.
Well, and that's where I'm being repetitive, and I know it, and I'm sorry. That's where I think ultimately, and I don't know how close we are to it. Maybe we're not, but I personally think that's where the market correction, if there is one, comes in, where the fan goes, "Wait, who are these guys? What are we paying for?"
Look, it hasn't been around long enough for the team that's supposed to go 10-2 and has all this millions of dollars in the thing to go 6-6, and to see how that plummets or not the next year.
Sure, we're not.
I don't know.
It hadn't.
We hadn't been around long enough
It's
yet.
still too new.
Yeah, there are ways to make this better without even caps or anything. You're just not getting a salary cap because there's no appetite for it, because that's back to limiting the players.
Yeah.
Forever, it was all program first, school first, and now it is player first in every way.
Oh, absolutely. It's.
I mean, it took a complete 180.
It's completely. Everything is. Built.
I mean, hell, frankly, had it been 5 years ago when this change happened, the players could have ended up with a union. They're getting everything they can't now because that kind of passed. But I mean, back when that was in vogue, who knows?
Yeah.
Hell, they're getting everything else. So.
We'll see. I don't know. And the other thing that's going to happen is on all these campuses, coaches are going to be competing against each other to get their money.
That's what I said. I mean,
yeah. I mean, if you're if you're Tim Corbin, right? You're like, hey, look, I know I'm supposed to be like, yeah, go get him, Jerry. But frankly, you're on your own, buddy.
Yeah.
And then when the women's basketball coaches at 99% of these campuses go, where's my NIL money? Someone has to look them in the eye and go, so let me show you bottom lines. Let me just show you this. And when those people bitch publicly about we just don't have the NIL support that the other programs have. Well, you don't produce like the other programs do.
I mean, the answer to almost all that, and frankly, it's the answer to baseball in a lot of places, is okay, as a staff, go out, raise it, and earmark it.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, that's one of the main things that baseball staffs are going to have to do around the country or in the SEC or whoever cares to the level of giving NIL is the staffs are going to have to rally. It's legal. Going to have to rally support for that in a lot of ways.
Mm-hmm.
The money that just comes straight in off the collective is going to be primarily earmarked for football and men's basketball, as it should be. It just is what it is.
Yeah, almost every school.
Yeah, I mean,
even at the schools where baseball really matters, where it's important.
Like I said, LSU has this godsend in Marucci down there that has changed the game for them. That's still not coming out of their normal collective budget.
The bat and glove people.
Yeah, they have a bat company who wants to get in on players so they stay in with them when they turn pro.
Yeah.
So it's a marketing expense for them. Smart. I mean, I got no issues.
Mm-mm. People pushing back on you?
No. But
Okay.
I do need to look at something though. I don't know. I mean, just
I got some people that were like, I can't believe you're writing numbers yesterday. I'm like, well, he said them. Why would we not write them?
Why are we scared of this?
I'm not.
But because it's the purity thing, the pageantry,
I think so. I think a lot
because it's the number one thing with the sport right now. How much money do you have to go recruit?
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah. No, I mean, I'm surprised more people aren't asking these guys when they get them on the phone or when we get them in the in-person things. Hey, how big of a deal was, and usually because the answer is, oh, it had nothing to do with it. I loved it here. It felt like home. So the money had nothing to do with it. You would have done this for zero? Well, no, I didn't say that. So how big of a role was it? It's cool. I mean, I get it, right? I mean, if I'm offered jobs, one of the very first questions is, how much am I getting paid? What's my compensation package? I'm not going to move to wherever because I just love it there. Oh, it's beautiful land. No, come on. Felt like home. They were nice people. The restaurants are cool. Oh, I mean, compensation package is going to factor in pretty high.
Oh, that's interesting. Was the system better when it was all under the table? It wasn't better, but it allowed for so much more plausible deniability.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know that it was better.
Better is not really the right word. I do agree that if you get caught with inducements under the table, you should be hammered because it's legal. You should be hammered. Inducements to come, not for trips and visits and stuff.
Okay.
That's required. Look, that's just an under the table thing every program does that is needed. Otherwise, you can't get kids to campus.
Right.
The NCAA rules prohibit you from being able to get them to campus in that way. But if you are paying for kids to show up under the table, it should be hammered. It's legal.
Yeah.
I mean,
my thing is I wish we could be a lot more transparent about it. Quit calling it what it's not. Call it what it is. And then just put it out there publicly. Here's what guys make. I mean, wouldn't you kind of be curious to know what Bryce Young made at Alabama last year? I mean, there were stories that were written last week about how the quarterback market in the middle to end of the draft has been impacted by, their words, NIL, my words, pay for play. Okay, to what degree? To what degree did guys who would normally be a 4th or 5th round pick who decided to stay in college, how much did they get? And cool. I mean, good. I'm for the player getting it. Just put it out publicly. If you're going to say, hey, we're pro sports, then be pro sports.
Well, because look, every employer out there knows what they're paying employees, and it's not a big leap to say the fans are the employers.
Well, they absolutely are.
So they should deserve to know what they're paying.
They are at least a part of the employee
I mean,
system,
when a corporation has
system.
board meetings and anybody who has shares in the company, they get to see what the bottom line looks like at the end of the day. They get a fiscal report.
That's where I'm
you know what I mean? They're all look. Everybody who donates is a shareholder here.
Sure.
So run it like a corporation. Hey, here's the report.
I mean, if you give thousands of dollars to the Grove Collective, I think it's fair that you would want to know, hey, where did my money go?
Well, Austin, you are correct there. A lot of writers are in denial because they do not want this to be what the sport is. 100%.
Yeah.
Well,
there's a lot of that, sure.
No.
It's most of the people.
They're very uncomfortable by the money they're making, frankly.
Or they don't understand it.
Well, both.
Yeah. And most of the people are most people who cover the sport want the players to get paid. Look, there's an easy fix to this to correct it all. It's easy. But we're not that's out of the toothpaste is out of the tube.
Yeah.
If you make it where put the old transfer rules in and say the only way you can transfer program to program is by graduating, you market correct 80% of this.
You do. Good luck there, by the way.
It's not going to, that's what I said. It's not going to happen.
The freedom of movement is way too far gone.
You're literally trying to put toothpaste back into a tube. Good luck. I mean, you might get a little back in there, but you're not getting much. I mean, you might as well just go buy you a new tube.
Do the schools want that?
Coaches want it.
Sure.
Do the schools want it? I don't know.
Because if you ever break off or go, no, we're making our own rules, can that become at the forefront or is that still not an appetite?
I would guess that if I talked to 20 people who run collectives, they would 80% or more would like that. Would tell you this is broken. Because I have talked to people who are in or around collectives who think the system is insane from a sustainability standpoint, year over year. Because again, the point comes. Let's take Ole Miss for example.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, say they go 6-6.
Mm-hmm.
Just say they go 6-6. I know everybody's like, no, they're not going to go 6-6. Okay, fine. Just for kicks and giggles, Ole Miss goes 6-6.
Okay.
And by the way, I can get you there easy.
Sure, go ahead.
Okay, 6-6. When you hit up these same people for more money next year, how many of them go, man, it's not worth it? Or how many go, oh, you know what? I can't take this 6-6. We got to get back to 9-3. Here's $100,000 more. I don't know the answer to that.
Or again, take any school. It doesn't have to be Ole Miss. Let the football program fall off below expectations and the basketball team go crazy for a year. Does the percentage swap where they go, no, hey, I'm giving you $75,000, but I'm doing it for, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Is that how it works? I mean, look, I know a guy who was fairly serious who said he wanted to earmark money to the Grove Collective, but he wanted to earmark it for left-handed pitching. I mean, okay. I guess there's some power in that.
That's awesome. That's my guy. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know where it goes. I'm curious though, because like we've talked about, we'll do this thing, you do it all the time. Everybody can't win.
No.
Kentucky and South Carolina are going to play a football game and someone's going to lose. Mm-hmm. Texas A&M is going to play football games. What if they win them all? What if they lose? Auburn's going to play Ole Miss and someone's going to lose.
It's going to have a really bad week.
Yeah, shitty week. But someone's going to lose that game. I mean, that's a fact. And so, as losses pile up, do people go, we're not doing this right? Do you fire the people who are running the collective for making bad decisions, or do you fire the coaches? I mean, how does that work? All of it. It's just kind of interesting. It's brand new.
Yeah.
But that's what I was most interested in yesterday, was the kind of pushback from people going, I can't believe you wrote that. Well, why would I not write it?
It was the most interesting part of the story by far.
Of course.
And it gives you a glimpse into truth.
Yeah.
Kid wasn't lying.
No, he was telling the truth. What did he wanted to put, he has film at corner for the NFL. So Ole Miss said, hey, you're going to play some corner for us, but we're also going to look at you at all three safety spots. And he said, I need to get that safety film for the NFL to look at.
Yeah.
Which is smart. Ole Miss wanted him, needed him. Mm-hmm. He knew some people, had a couple of connections.
Sure.
So he took the visit, and he told himself during the visit that, hey, if this checks all the boxes, I'm going to pull the trigger and get it done. I asked him about Hugh Freeze because he played for Hugh Freeze at Liberty, and he said that Freeze told him, hey, if you can wait a week, I might have something, but I've got right now my limited spots I've got to use for defensive line, which meant I kind of took it to, hey, our budget right now is dedicated to this.
Right.
Might have it to move around. And he said he talked to Freeze after he decided to go to Ole Miss, and Freeze was very complimentary and said, good luck, and hey, it's a good decision, blah, 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 thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's business. It wasn't, because I saw some people like, take that, Hugh, and it was like, no, it didn't really work like that.
Yeah, it is what it is. Win some, lose some, move on.
Yeah, these are guys that are making decisions. I mean, he's making a business decision.
Yeah. Couple final thoughts on that after the break. Speaking of, tell you about the Ole Miss Athletics Foundation. If you're ready for the Grove, join them at Vaught Hemingway Stadium this fall for the 2023 football season. You can order tickets now to participate in the seat selection process. To explore seating options, visit OleMissTix.com or call them at 662-915-7159 today to help lock the vault. Again, that's OleMissTix.com, 662-915-7159.
Game Changer patches are the only two-patch system available in the market to stop hangovers before they start. The warm-up patch is used before or while you drink. The overtime patch used after you've been drinking to recover while you sleep. The all-natural ingredients will keep you in the game and ready for your next play. So go to GameChangerPatch.com, promo code RebelGrove20 at checkout for 20% off your purchase. ACS is owned by my friend Clay McNutt in Baldwin, Mississippi. It's a complete electrical control system solution provider and a Rockwell Automation recognized system integrator. It's got a full-time dedicated emergency service and troubleshooting staff, a UL 508A panel shop, and much, much more. To learn more, go to acsllcms.com or call 662-601-4381. We're also brought to you by Lammons Fine Jewelry. Lammons at 1126 North Lamar Boulevard in Oxford. They've been serving the Oxford area for 3/4 of a century. Engagement rings, wedding rings, watches, pearls, fashion jewelry, gifts, and more. They're the gold standard in fine jewelry. Visit them at lammonsfinejewelry.com or call them at 662-234-2777. And we're brought to you by Pinnacle. Pinnacle, based in Madison, Mississippi. They provide detailed specialized investment management, financial planning, retirement planning for individuals and businesses, and much, much more. At Pinnacle, investing is treated like a commodity, and decisions are made using objective information and research, not emotions. So regardless of your level of wealth, Pinnacle will sit down with you, listen to your goals, study your expenses, and put forth a comprehensive, detailed financial and retirement plan built just for you. It's mypinwealth.com. That's MYPINN wealth.com. John Edwards of Regency Travel Incorporated in Memphis is the guy to go to if you are looking to plan a trip that creates a lifetime of unique memories. Just get in touch with John, give him some parameters, give him a budget. He's going to give you options that you're probably just not going to find on your own. He might be able to find some special deals and such that you're not aware of. 901-494-3387, or send him an email, jedwards@regencytravel.net.
Podcast is brought to you by G&M Pharmacy, 662-236-2222. They also deliver locally in the Oxford area, and they offer medicine. Fill prescriptions the same day each month and take care of you. One call, they take care of the rest to transfer your medications, so whether it be Holly Springs with Tyson Drugs or G&M here in Oxford. Make them your new pharmacy for all your pharmaceutical needs. Again, that is 662-236-2222. Yeah, I will never do a bet where the loser has to go do midnight yell. That is an impossibility.
Nope.
It is a no without even a thought.
No interest
whatsoever.
None.
Go hang out. I mean, Ross probably take you in for the night.
I mean, Ross and I get along.
Yeah, no. I think you get along with him better now than I do.
Really?
I don't know. I think I frustrate him.
You poke the
a lot
more than I do.
I told you I can't even get like a canned quote from him right now. He's nice about it, but
yeah,
not interested.
I don't know.
What? You don't really. No, you're kind of an A&M guy over there. You're like always hyping them up and shit. I've been one every year. Woo!
I think Ross knows I don't care. So I think after our years of interaction, I think Ross knows that I don't give a damn, and so I think that probably makes it a little easier. I think Ross knows that I'm always just cheering for the clock. And 11 a.m.
It is a big year for him over there, though. Seriously.
Sure, of course.
That contract Jimbo and another year of this, and the Petrino Jimbo thing. I mean, things are going fine with Buzz.
He didn't give the contract to Jimbo. Let's be clear.
There's no outside influences at all inside of that office.
I'm sure he was in the room, but he didn't authorize that.
Who did?
Boosters.
The Board of Regents.
Sure. They were afraid he was going to go to LSU.
Yeah.
So they gave him money. And now he's got to produce. And if he doesn't produce, they've got a huge decision to make. Because that's a lot of money. And Jimbo's got a good agent, got good attorneys. Going to get his. So, yeah, if you're Ross, I mean, it's much easier just to cheer for the Aggies and hope that he wins a bunch of games and earns it. And if he comes to you and says, hey, I want to redo a new deal. Oh, no.
We're good here.
We're good. You're good.
Yeah. You're going to be all right.
Yeah. We just bought more time. Sure.
What do you make of this Big 12 thing? Playing basketball and football games in Mexico moving forward. There's no way that's actually translating to anything positive, right? I mean, it's a news slide, and I give them credit for creativity. Mm-hmm. I like they know their place is a little weird here, but they're pretty safe as number 3. Number 3 is not the worst spot in the world. You're all right,
but you can't.
You're going to get a team in the playoff.
I don't mind the marketing part of it. Give it a shot. Get some attention out of it.
What's it doing?
Nothing. I don't guess.
Even marketing. What's it doing? I'm going to go to a Big 12 school because they play a game in Monterey?
No, I wouldn't think. Is there an interest for American football there?
I don't know. I mean, the Big 12 is nearing a deal to play football and men's basketball games in Mexico beginning as soon as 2024. The agreement, not yet complete, would last for multiple years and is not a one-off. Football games would likely take place in Monterey, men's basketball in Mexico City, with the potential for more sports in the future. Dates and teams involved have not been determined. However, Kansas and Houston are likely teams for a Mexico City basketball game.
Okay.
They got 2 big teams there. I get it.
Sure. Would there be that? I don't know. Maybe they've looked into it and there'd be a lot of interest in Mexico City and it would be a lot of TV event and you can make it cool and market and all that.
It says they're essentially doing everything possible to make the Big 12 a national brand is their reasoning for it. Because, like they had a pretty cool thing that kind of got overshadowed during the NCAA tournament. They're going to do exhibition basketball games at Rucker Park.
Oh, really?
The storied Harlem basketball court in New York. Yeah, I mean, huge deal. It's cool. I love that now. That's cool to me.
Yeah.
I don't see these at the same thing. I'm far less interested in the Mexico game because they likened it to the NFL playing in London, but that's not the same thing. I mean, I get it is, but it isn't. We're not appointment viewing Big 12 football, so we don't care.
Right.
The NFL, we get an extra time slot. Hey, 9 a.m., cool.
Sure.
Frankly, I don't know if it's the London thing as much as it is just simply that we get a game at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I like that.
I know too.
Because I
get
up and do 10 thoughts and
it kind of plays off EPL a little bit too.
Sure.
People are used to the morning stuff and the up and whatever, and it's done well in London, no problems. But it's not the same thing. Like the Rucker Park, A+. I mean, we didn't talk about this at the time, but let's see. The conference is aiming to host men's and women's exhibition games at Rucker Park in the summer of 24, pending approval from the NCAA. The Big 12 will send men's and women's basketball coaches to New York City to lead clinics for local sixth graders and younger this summer. It's a great thing. All the way, I'm in. Not the same thing. I don't know. I like the creativity. I like trying things. I like not just sitting there and saying that their current product is good enough to sit at 3 and be what it is. This is doing nothing to catch the Big Ten and the SEC. And maybe that's not the point. Maybe the point is things like this differentiate them from everyone below them. So you become a stronger number 3. And you're staying in the news cycle and you're just sort of rolling.
I think that's what it is. And the more I think about it, the more I think that's probably good.
You think so?
Yeah, it kind of makes sense. I mean, they're not going to catch the Big Ten or the SEC, but they can do stuff that separates them further from what's left.
And you got the pull that you're not like it's something that like the Sun Belt's not pulling off.
No.
So you're
be a big enough brands.
Yeah. Hey, we are what we are here. Let's.
Arizona plays Colorado and Mexico City or something. I guess I don't know what those markets look like. I just have no idea.
And there was a college football game last year in London. It was Nebraska and Northwestern, or Dublin. Sorry.
Yeah, and it was fine. It was early in the seasons. Kickoff.
It was week 0, right?
Yeah. And we watched because you'll watch anything on week 0.
Yeah. Oh, I remember like being kind of into that game late. Who won?
Northwestern won, right?
Did they?
I don't know.
What's your guys from Evanston? I'm just curious.
I'm kind of turned on them.
Have you?
Yeah, a little bit.
You an Illini fan now?
I don't think Evanston and I get along. I don't think I'd fit in Evanston particularly well.
You got Luke at Illinois now too.
Yeah.
So
Luke's my guy. I like Luke.
Yeah. So I mean, you can move your low level Big Ten allegiance over to.
It didn't impact my coverage, but no, I like Luke. Luke's a good dude. I'm cheering for him.
Yeah. And you get Bert and Luke. I mean, hey,
I know. That's a lot.
I mean,
that's a lot.
That's all in.
When Illinois plays Iowa, I might even feel conflicted.
Oh,
probably not.
You would pull for Illinois, wouldn't you? No people.
I don't know, man. Iowa. There's a lot there.
Good.
A lot there. Lot there. If you cut me open, I'm black and gold.
One of the Iowa beat writers just took over the Alabama Athletic, the job covering Alabama for the Athletic, and the comments were really funny about all the, hey, you can finally, write offensive words like touchdowns and first downs and things along those lines now. Congratulations.
God, I hope he's not objective.
Well, he says he's going to be ultimately objective. He's a Georgia grad.
Oh.
Think that's a problem?
Oh.
Georgia grad covering Bama?
Good luck. Alabama and Auburn fans cannot understand objectivity. It's out the window. It's not an option. They can't relate to it.
Yeah, I found Dublin really cool. I just, in my head, I don't find Mexico City as appealing. Or Monterey or wherever they're playing this thing. It just...
Why is that?
I don't know. Well, some of it is like I don't like Mexico takes their soccer really seriously, but I'm not into soccer enough to really even understand that part of the culture.
You don't think they take soccer seriously in Dublin?
That's not my point. I'm familiar with more European cities and sports. I don't have any idea down there.
Playing.
I mean, baseball's played down there. I didn't give a shit. Like,
sure.
Whatever. Okay.
I mean, but look, if you're the Big 12 and you're looking for some gimmicks, go for it. Move a football game out of Lawrence, Kansas, and put it someplace else. Why not? Does it get you some attention? Maybe. I don't know.
Well, to get you attention.
So it might be.
You're going to get national time slots.
That might be all they need. Whatever you need.
You do that. ESPN's going to go, yeah, sure, 7 o'clock sounds great.
Yeah. Well,
or Fox or whomever.
Probably worth it at that point.
Okay. I don't know what you're converting me, but I'm
not.
I'm
not emotionally engaged either, but
I love tacos. I don't like margaritas that much. I don't like tequila. I just don't. The taste does nothing for me.
God, I wish I could say the same.
I really don't. I mean, I've tried good tequila. It's fine. I'm not against it. Again, because I say that doesn't mean, oh God, I hate margaritas, but that is never what I'm picking off the.
I hate the sugary sweet margaritas.
Well, that's different.
The margaritas that taste like a
margarita.
Pure. I'm in 1,000% all day.
Tequila is my least favorite spirit.
Oh.
I'd rather have bourbon, gin, rum, vodka.
I think rum is my least favorite. I've tried it with people.
I love a daiquiri.
With people who love rum.
Yeah.
I just can't get there and probably haven't given it enough of a chance. And at this point, I don't need to give it more chances.
You don't need another spirit that suddenly starts maintaining.
My problem is I kind of like everything.
Yeah. No, I love a real daiquiri now.
I've never developed a taste for scotch. I've had it.
I've tried.
And I've tried. And
I feel like I should, but I simply don't.
I feel like I could get there, but I'd have to really try. And I don't know that I want to try that.
That's how you know I've been way overserved, is if I order a scotch and don't I'm going, yeah, great. I go, no, let's go home.
Yeah.
It's happened a few times where you're like, hey, that's the cue.
Yeah.
Quit.
Yeah.
That's it. Glenn, nothing. Not ordering that. Sorry. Talk about it after the break, but I went to bed on what apparently was quite the Lakers performance last night.
I just couldn't stay up. I got back from Tupelo. It was 9:20. I took a shower.
Why is Davis playing like a man possessed all the time, and why can't he do this more often?
Well, when he plays like that, he's one of the best 5 players in the league. He just has a hard time consistently doing it. I don't know why. Just that's him. But it's there. It's what makes him so enticing for a team. Because he can dominate a game. He's one of a handful of people on the face of the earth who can dominate a high-level NBA playoff game. There aren't many people who can do it, and he's one. Sure. He doesn't always do it, but when he does it, man, they're tough. I've said this about the Lakers. When the Lakers go through Davis, they're at their best.
They win 117-112 last night. Warriors had a 14-0 run at one point to close it up late, but Lakers pull it out. That was in Golden State for game 1 there to start out. So it was real. I mean, still home court. Game 2, we'll see. I don't know. I was pretty interested in it once I saw the scores and saw everything this morning. So more pro stuff coming up after the break. But I'll tell you about Northeast Spark, NESPARC, service people across rural communities, 2 packages. The Ignite, the 100 Mbps, or the Blaze, the 1 gig that powers the Clark Ford studio, your hometown team bringing you world-class broadband. That's nespark.com, 662-238-3159. Phone service, parental controls, network security, our wireless mesh extender, and much more. So to get the best internet in Lafayette County, also parts of Union and Pontotoc counties. Again, that's 662-238-3159.
Oxford's newest Greek restaurant on the square, Opa, is a great place for you to visit if you're coming up for graduation, for the last baseball series of the year, whatever the case may be. Stop by Opa. Fabulous food, great craft libations, speaking of drinks and more. It's there at Opa on the square in Oxford. Also stop at Rafters Music and Food. If you're looking for a place this weekend to maybe watch the Derby or watch some games or whatnot, just hang out, have a drink, have a burger, stop by Rafters on the Square in Oxford as well. I'll have a mailbag up to you later today, probably much later today. It's brought to you by Whitney McNutt of Tommy Morgan Incorporated Realtors, serving you for all your real estate needs in Oxford and Tupelo. She sells condos, land, commercial, and residential family homes. You can reach her at 567-2573 or 662-842-3844. We're brought to you by Service Specialist Staffing and Recruiting Agency. They've been connecting great job opportunities to candidates since 1967. If you're on the job hunt, they can help you whether you're looking for an entry-level position or you're a seasoned professional. They've got opportunities across the board. And if your company is looking to hire quality, hard-to-find talent, Service Specialists can help you as well. Keep in mind that payment of service is solely contingent on if you decide to hire a candidate that they send. You have nothing to lose, so give Will, Sydney, or Kelsey a call at 662-832-5138 or check out their new and improved website, servicespecialistltd.com. Get the beautiful and healthy smile you deserve at Corinth Dental. Dr. Bubba McQueen, Dr. Jenny Beth Hendrick are devoted to restoring and enhancing the natural beauty of your smile using conservative, state-of-the-art procedures that will result in a beautiful, long-lasting smile. From routine checkups to advanced treatment, including implants and Invisalign, Corinth Dental is here to help you achieve your smile goals. So schedule your appointment today and take the first step towards a better version of yourself. It's corinthdental.com. And we're brought to you by Southern Traditions Farm. It's a 68-acre, 32-stall upscale equestrian training and boarding facility in Canton, Mississippi. 2 sand rings, a grass ring, miles of wooded trails, so much offered at Southern Traditions, including horseback riding offerings, from beginner lessons to buying your first horse and competing at nationally recognized competitions and everything in between. Also, it's a great venue for events, reunions, parties, that kind of thing. So get in touch with them on Facebook or Instagram at Southern Traditions Farm.
Podcast is brought to you by Prime Shrimp, primeshrimp.com. 7 different flavors available for you that are shipped directly to your door. Everything from the New Orleans style barbecue to the signature, to great versatile options that take care of you there from Prime Shrimp. In fewer than 10 minutes from freezer to plate, you can have dinner, you can have a great lunch, maybe a salad, or just invite themselves for a great snack. They have the Simply Shrimp option for kids, or if you like to season themselves, play a little bit of chef, you can do that as well. So that's primeshrimp.com. They also have their 2-pound bags of individually frozen shrimp, a lot like what's at the grocery store, except a higher quality shrimp from the New Orleans-based company. So code RG, use code RG, buy 5 pouches or more. And when you do that, you save 25% off on that with Prime Shrimp. So again, code RG, primeshrimp.com. So Lakers take care of the Wolves, the Warriors last night in Game 1. The Wolves have already been disposed of. And the Knicks held on came back for a win, 1-1 now in that series. They head to Miami for 3. Jimmy Butler out last night for the Heat, and the Knicks scraped by. Probably not the best sign in the world moving forward.
Yeah, not a good sign if you're a Knicks fan. I was listening to the Knicks broadcast, and they kind of felt that way too. You could tell they were a little bothered by it.
Is the ankle bad, or is he okay for later?
I don't know. Miami did the right thing though. Got one win. Hey, we got to win. Let's go sit him. Let's get him off his feet for a few days.
Get him a couple days off.
Yeah. No, because they can't win without him. The series, and New York.
You're already down Tower Hero.
And New York's managing a couple of ankles too. Julius Randle's ankle and Jalen Brunson's got an ankle. Everybody's got an ankle this time of year.
That thing's opening up for the Sixers and the Celtics.
Well, the Sixers thing is what's fascinating. Game 2 is tonight, I think. And
that's right.
If I'm Philly, I don't play Embiid.
Give him another one. You got one?
Yeah, I got one. This is a freebie. I don't play him tonight. I get back to Philly and see if I can't get 2 there. Joel Embiid, by the way, wins the MVP award, as he should have.
Yeah, Jokic finished 2nd and Giannis 3rd.
My guy SGA finished 5th.
Did he?
He did.
That's good.
Yeah, it was real good.
Buy, sell in his career, a 1st or a 2nd?
Oh, I'll buy.
You buy?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Shea can win an MVP.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay.
He becomes a slightly better defender.
Mm-hmm.
He's a top 3 player.
Yeah, just the one game tonight. Philadelphia at Boston, TNT, 7 o'clock, game 2.
Oh, that's a good game. And then we get Denver, Phoenix back in Phoenix, game 3. Is that right?
That's not until Friday.
Oh, they get a huge break.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Friday night we get game 4 or game 3 Boston, Philadelphia, and game 3 Denver, Phoenix. The schedule's a little weird.
Oh, okay.
Tomorrow only LA, Golden State.
And not till late.
I'm sure 8 o'clock.
8-hour time?
Yeah.
That's not bad.
Saturday, game 3, Knicks and Heat. So they're off until Saturday.
Yeah,
God, they get 3 days off.
yeah. I don't know.
This schedule is stupid. There's too many days off.
There's a lot of days off. It's all set for TV, and it's all
It's
all
strung out too
they're
much.
trying to get to a certain spot.
I get it, but it is my biggest gripe, frankly. No one asked me. No one cares.
No,
but
they don't.
I'm just saying. Do actual NBA fans not have a problem with this?
You're kind of used to it.
Okay.
Used to the big breaks. Game 7 of that Kings Warriors series got a massive TV number. Massive TV number. Like the most watched non-finals playoff game in 30 years or something, if I read it correctly.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Florida Panthers win last night. Knock off the Maple Leafs in Toronto in game 1.
How about that?
Plucky.
Yeah.
The Panthers.
Those plucky Panthers.
4-2. They were undefeated in the playoffs when scoring first. They scored first last night. And then, speaking of upsets, I mean, they had a good year. They're 46-28. But the Kraken take game 1 over Dallas last night, too, in overtime.
Oh. I really regret that I'm not into hockey.
One player for Dallas had all 4 goals for the Stars last night.
Oh, he had a good day.
He had a day.
Yeah.
It's a hat trick plus 1. What do they call the 4? Is there a name for that?
I don't know. If you strike out 4 times, it's the golden sombrero.
Yeah, I know that.
But I don't know. I don't know what 4 goals are.
What is 4 goals in a hockey? Oh. And they just say hat trick plus 1. I got that right without actually meaning
to. There you go.
Okay.
Look at you.
There you go. Told you.
Are you
fan.
watching any of the hockey, or are you just reading the results?
I'm watching if it is tied in the 3rd period. I refuse to sit down and watch a hockey game. Nah, I'm good.
So are you following along during the night? Are you getting
I'll see
notifications
Twitter and kind of
what?
keep up with it. Yeah. I'm not setting notifications. God, no. But yeah, enough to go, oh, whoa, 3rd period. Because it's one good thing about their TV package is, I mean, the games have been on channels that I can find for the most part. I mean, it's one of the things I hate about. I mean, it's on ESPN. I mean, it's there.
Yeah.
It's not like, frankly, unlike the freaking NBA where it's on NBA TV and I go, okay, well, that game's out today. Nothing I can do.
Really?
I can't get it on Hulu. I'm out. So yeah, maybe it's on a streaming service, but I'm not aware of that and I haven't looked. But I cannot easily find that it is not on my normal package on Hulu.
I'm scared of the streaming services, like the 4th and 5th party ones that are kind of out there that are quote illegal in quote.
Oh,
that people use.
Yeah. When you get down the list a little bit and go,
I'm just worried that like I'm going to get the virus of all viruses on my computer if I did that.
Are you really?
Yeah, and then there's a part of me that feels really hypocritical about it, like knowing how much money over the last 15 years we've lost to shared passwords.
Yeah, sure.
To then pirate a stream.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like that's
some
pretty
karma in there.
Yeah,
somewhere.
like I can't do that.
Devils Hurricanes game 1 tonight. Oilers Golden Knights game 1 tonight. In Vegas. That's a good one.
I'd like to teleport to Vegas for that one.
Yeah, that's a really
fun.
good one right there.
That'd be fun.
Edmonton, the favorite, and they're expecting a lot of goals. Over under on that 6.5.
Oh,
tonight.
My kind of game.
Yeah, Connor McDavid. He has 89 goals on the season to lead Edmonton.
Is that on ESPN?
That is on ESPN at 8:30.
Oh,
6 and 8:30 hockey doubleheader tonight.
I wanted to really piss my wife off. I'd be like, hey, I'm going to watch this hockey game at 8:30.
You're like bringing another sport into this.
She'd be like, that's it. I'm out. Probably wants to say that anyway.
Oh, you're a newspaper guy for back in the day. Got a little quiz for you as we close today. Were you aware that today is World Press Freedom Day?
I was not.
Were you not?
No.
You don't celebrate that. It's not on your calendar. You don't get up and have like one of those hats with the scoop in the brim of it.
I was never. I frustrated people in newsrooms. This will not surprise you. I was never. Hey, aren't we the best guy?
Oh, like journalists?
Yeah.
Those exist.
Yo, in spades.
They're there.
No, I was always the guy that went, we suck. I get why people hate us.
All right, so here's the deal. And you should get all these.
I mean, I would sometimes look at stuff and go, can you believe we're covering this way? I mean, this is pitiful.
I almost got two of them mixed up, but I got all these right. Okay.
All right.
So
these are newspaper questions?
Yeah. Well, no, you'll get it.
Okay.
So I'm going to give you the name of a leading newspaper in the United States.
Okay.
You have to tell me the name of the city it's in.
Okay.
You should get them all, but
all right, let's see.
It's just what I got today.
All right, let's see.
Plain Dealer.
Cleveland.
That is correct. Journal Constitution.
Atlanta.
That's correct. Star Ledger.
Minneapolis.
Newark, New Jersey.
Okay.
I had a teacher who
Minneapolis
taught
is Star
there.
Tribune.
That is correct, yes. Not on the list. Union Tribune. This is the one I almost missed. It took me, I stared at it for like 10 minutes. I would have missed this with any timer at all.
Union Tribune. Salt Lake City?
San Diego.
Okay. Oh, yeah.
See, when you hear the name with it, you go,
Yeah.
oh, I'm an idiot. Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Post-Dispatch.
I
almost got this one reversed with another one.
Columbus.
St. Louis.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you're mad at yourself right there. You're like, duh, St. Louis Post-Dispatch. Post-Gazette.
Oh, now I'm out of my game.
I'm all in your head.
Yeah. Post-Gazette. I should know this one. I don't know.
Pittsburgh.
Oh, I don't think I'd have gotten that one.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
For whatever reason, that is always stuck in my head, Pittsburgh Post-Gazette, because it kind of
yeah.
comes off with alliteration.
I don't think I'd have gotten
And then by far the hardest on the list, the Current.
Hartford.
That is correct, yes. So, and I say some of the leading newspapers, they're all hemorrhaging, so that's a very relative term there. But
yeah, I'd love to know how many newspapers in the country right now are still financially solvent.
Well, I mean, I sent you that Gannett thing several months ago. We didn't talk about it on the podcast, but on what their subscriber loss has been, even like in the last 18 to 24 months. And it was like 90%, 80%, 65%. I mean, it was hemorrhaging subscribers.
The New York Times is doing well. I would guess the Washington Post is hanging in there.
Probably.
And then, man, after that, you're probably starting to get into some.
And neither one of those are Gannett.
No. I'd wonder if the Boston Globe is doing well. The AJC they figured out the internet pretty fast. But man, I mean, most newspapers, including like real ones that were really doing well 15 years ago, are.
So I just found the list. If anybody cares here, Gannett as a whole, 66.8% loss from 18 to 22.
Yeah.
This is Q3 of 18 to Q3 of 22.
Okay.
Detroit Free Press down 52%. Arizona Republic down 74%. Milwaukee Journal Sentinel down 56%. Indianapolis Star down 74%. Cincinnati Enquirer down 67%. Courier Journal in Louisville 74%. Bergen Record, New Jersey 65%. Des Moines Register 69%. Rochester Democrat and Chronicle 57%.
Wow.
Yes. Every Gannett paper saw a circulation decline of at least 52%.
Wow. That's
the average drop across the papers listed 67%. Meaning they've lost 2/3 of their paying readers in 4 years' time.
Oh, I can't tell you how many people 15 years ago when I told them I was leaving Mobile, I can't tell you how many people in the industry were like, you're an idiot.
Mm-hmm.
You're an idiot. I mean, I got so much pushback for that decision. And I got it. I understood it. But I was like, my last review in Mobile, I asked a lot of questions and just did not like the answers.
Yeah.
The answers were scary.
Yeah. So,
because we'd gone from just spending to not spending.
Ole Miss, Missouri, Thursday night from Columbia. The game's on SEC Network, by the way, so you can watch it on normal television on Thursday. Again, Ole Miss, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, the final 3 weekends of the season. Oh, real quick, injury updates. Judd Utermark, he is in a sling. They did not have his MRI back. His x-ray was negative. There's no fracture from that collision at the plate on Sunday. My guess is a separated shoulder. That is my very, very non-medical opinion, but something's definitely up. He's having a hard time, but there's no broken collarbone, broken clavicle there for him.
He's put together well if he didn't break his collarbone there.
Hunter Elliott was at the doctor as the game ended yesterday, so no update on that, but there is no optimism that he will pitch again this season. But people seem fairly optimistic that he will be back for next year. Well, again, once we know a diagnosis, we will then figure that out from there. Anthony Clarko strained an oblique on Monday. He did not play yesterday. He's day-to-day. And then Peyton Chatinier has a hip contusion from the collision with TJ McCants that happened on Sunday. Mike said he would have played yesterday had it been a weekend game, but they were not going to play him yesterday in the Tuesday affair against Little Rock. So that is your injury update. Again, Rebels and Tigers from Columbia. I expect the same thing as last week with Rivas, Quinn, and Saunier throwing those 3 days. Grayson Saunier, SEC Freshman of the Week this week after his
he was terrific the other day.
Yeah. So anyway, podcast tomorrow. We will talk to you then. We'll talk to Jeffrey. Have a good day. Take care.